Okay, we got ourselves the second installment of Project Red, Kakusei Hunter OMEGAHORN. Oh my goodness. What is Project Red? We'll take a look at all the information from the Toei website and I'll give my thoughts. I got some thoughts. I got some good thoughts, some bad thoughts. I wouldn't say bad, maybe just not so good thoughts. How about that? Let's just say that. But here we go. Let's take a look. Okay, so we got a really nice visual poster. Wow, I was floored when I saw this for the first time. Wow. And we did get a couple of teasers beforehand. I mean, they didn't really show a whole lot, but this poster, oh my gosh, like, again, what is Project Red for real? So we got ourselves in the bottom right of the poster, we got our new main hero, Captain OMEGAHORN. Is that his name, I believe? And then we also got in the main part of the poster this really crazy monster beast looking thing. Oh my god. And we'll learn about these characters. So again, all this information is from the Toei website. I will link it in the description below so you can check it out. But this is going to be a rough Google translation of some of the information that is in this article. But it basically says an unusual buddy duo of a human and a horned beast. And they take on the hunter battle. Okay, so that's interesting. And this dude here, man. This dude looking... Yo, this is straight up Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, or Satoshi if you watch the Japanese anime. And I'm sorry if you're gonna hear cars in the background. I am outside. It's because the baby's at home sleeping, so I don't want to bother him. But he's with mom though, so it's okay. But they definitely took inspiration from Pokemon. Like they took inspiration from like maybe even Monster Hunter 2 with all the monsters and stuff. But like maybe even r.e.d from the Pokemon games, or come on. Like he's got the backwards cap. The backwards cap is hilarious. And then we got it. He's got a giant zipper, man. Why does he need that? And he's got a cool looking megaphone thing, kind of like OMEGAHORN, OMEGAphone. Like I think it's similar, and those two words are similar in Japanese at least. I got a lot more thoughts about this guy, so I'll talk about that later on. But he also has his monster friend, King of Horned Beasts Enkaku is his name. So that's pretty cool. He also has a human form, which is named Flamehorn, I guess. So that's interesting. He looks sick. Like the monster looks dope. And then we got another monster here. There's a bunch of different monsters, and we'll take a look at all those. But there's also what's his name? Zetsenkaku or something like that. So the protagonist of this show is Shout the Flame or Shout Flame. I'm not 100% sure which one's the correct translation, but he's basically a treasure hunter who lives hand to mouth. Shout is well versed in ancient scripts, deciphers ancient texts, and sets out on expeditions, making a living by selling the artifacts he unearths. One day he encounters Enkaku, the Horned Beast King. This encounter with Enkaku, who can also take on a human form, a demi-human form, interesting, will drastically change Shout's destiny. Despite their initial hesitation, Shout and Enkaku become fast friends and engage in hunter battles with a variety of unique hunters they encounter along the way. Interesting. So yeah, this guy Shout Flame or Shout the Flame or whatever, he becomes Captain OMEGAHORN. So Flame Shout / Captain OMEGAHORN will be played by, I'm sorry if these names are incorrect, but Sho Narahara. And then Flame Horn, or the Beast Dude, is going to be played by Masato Kunigami. Okay, and then we got another actress named Nanaha Itose, who's playing Giriko, who's another horned beast hunter of the same generation as Shout. Giriko is very interested in Shout and the Flame Horn and keeps showing up in front of the two, but in the hunter battles that unfold wherever they go, she can be an ally or an enemy. Okay, so she's kind of like a rival, friendly rivalry maybe even. with Captain OMEGAHORN. She looks cool. She looks super cool, and I guess she has also a beast partner, which again we'll take a look at that in a second. And then we also got this this dude named the role of Ivar maybe. Ivar the Violent. Okay. A powerful and aggressive warrior who commands many hunters. Okay. Will be played by Shogo Tazuru. Okay. He commands many hunters. Interesting. His partner, the horn beast Zetsu and Kaku. That's the white one. Okay, cool. Zetsu and Kaku, who like Enkaku can also transform into a demi-human form, and that will be played by Eito Konishi. Unlike the hunters and horn beasts who are subservient to Ivar, Zetsu and Kaku takes on equal footing. Oh, okay, interesting. So he's more of a partner to Ivar. The similarity in name to Enkaku is intriguing, but the relationship remains shrouded in mystery. Ooh, okay. So there's some mystery there. I like that. And it also mentions that many other hunters will engage in these battles. So that'll be fun. Okay. See, I'm already much more interested in the show than I am with Gavan Infinity. I am not caught up in Gavan Infinity at all, and I don't think I'm ever gonna catch up. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I'm sorry. We'll talk more about kind of Gavan Infinity and Project Red as a whole here in a second. So this show is also going to use Emulgears, or I guess they're called something different here. Igorgears? Is that correct? And of course, you can put them into the megaphone thing that Captain OMEGAHORN has. Let's see. But it has more information here about the horned beasts. In ancient times, colossal creatures known as horned beasts ruled the land, possessing overwhelming power. These creatures were sealed away in the Igorgear. Oh, and disappeared from the face of the earth. Oh, interesting. So I'm going to assume that this is another dimension or universe or whatever, like a multiverse type of situation. Kind of like what they're doing in Gavan Infinity, because apparently this show is supposed to be kind of continuing almost from Gavan Infinity. It's like they're trying to do this MCU kind of thing where everything is connected. And there was a teaser that was shown, a 40-second teaser of this new show, and at the beginning of the teaser they had a shot from the Gavan Infinity teaser where they showed I don't even know what they're called, but it showed the universe, and there were some different lights that showed up, and one of those lights was a claw. I guess it's kind of hinting towards the fact that those different lights are different universes. So that claw one was representing this universe here. So that's pretty interesting. That's interesting. I like that. Okay, I see you. Anyways, time passed, and now in the modern era, humans who use horn awakeners to draw out the power of the horn beast sealed in the Igorgears have emerged and come to be known as hunters. Interesting. I'm curious about this world, because in the teaser, this world looks like our world. It looks has buildings and stuff. So it doesn't look like it's an ancient civilization, which, I thought it was going to be since seeing, all the horned beasts, but, apparently not. But I kind of do wish it was set in almost like an ancient civilization, just to make it different from the other universes. Especially since, they're doing this whole multiverse thing, make all the universes look different. None of the universes look different in Gavan Infinity, so I don't know. But anyways, I'll still give this show a shot. One day, Shout discovers a Horn Awakener. I'm assuming that's his megaphone. And an Igorgear on an altar in an ancient ruin. Oh, confused by this, Horn Awakener OMEGAHORN, which is different from the Horn Awakeners used by modern hunters. Okay. Shout decides to try setting the Igorgear in. Suddenly, a gigantic beast with horns, Flamehorn, appears, and seeing the qualities of a king in Shout's ego, his unwavering determination to follow his own path, Flamehorn declares himself Captain OMEGAHORN. Oh, interesting. And asks Shout to fight alongside him. Interesting. Okay. So they just spoiled the whole first episode right there. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if this is the first episode. I don't know. Anyways, okay, it's interesting. That sounds interesting. This story features a succession of various Igor gears and the horn beasts sealed within them to fulfill their own dreams, to rule over people, and more. The hunters use the power of their horn beasts to engage in hunter battles and win their opponents' Igor gears. Oh, okay. So yeah. They're literally, hunting monsters or collecting monsters. Pokemon. It's Pokemon. So here are the beasts. There are different classes. There's Class Omega, Class S, and I believe there's going to be a Class A. I think I read that somewhere. I don't remember any of the monsters' names. It's like something Kaku and other Kaku and that other Kaku. I don't know. But this purple one, this purple shark-looking one, that is what's her face's partner. I forgot her name. And I just saw on the Super Sentai Friends website that there's a whole bunch more of these monsters. That's great. There's a lot already. Oh, they're really trying to sell these gold gears off. There's even some monsters with repaints already. Like, that's ridiculous. We're definitely not going to see all these monsters in the show. There's no way, unless they show up in like the background or whatever. But like, there's no. We're definitely gonna see all these gold gears being sold for sure. But like, dang, that's a lot. Oh my, repaints already. Oh my gosh, get out of here. And this show is going to start July 26, 2026. Basically, it's taking over Gavan Infinity. And yeah, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so these Project Red shows are going to be shorter. They're going to be like 20 something episodes long. Kind of more of a contained story, I guess. And since the show starts on the 26th, then the toys will probably come out on the 25th. And maybe by the time this video's out, the toys will have already been revealed. So I will be doing another video talking about the toys when that happens. But okay, I got thoughts. I still have to ask the question, what is this show? What is Project Red? Like, what is Project Red just generally, but also like within the canon of the TV show? Again, I haven't caught up on Gavan Infinity, but I don't know if Project Red, the name, has even been brought up in the show. So like, canonically, what is it? Like Super Sentai, that was canon to the show. Kamen Rider, obviously canon to the show. Project Red. Okay, let's take a look at Captain OMEGAHORN. Let's take a look at his suit. When we first saw one of the teasers, kind of showing Captain OMEGAHORN's face, it was shrouded in darkness, so it was hard to see. But even now, seeing it now, this dude's a metal hero. No, am I not? Am I? He's definitely different from other metal heroes, but he's like metal hero-esque. Like, he can definitely pass as a metal hero for sure. Like, look at like that face. I know he has like, the jacket and everything, so he's definitely different. Like I said, different from other metal heroes, but he can still fit in with other metal heroes. I was personally expecting Captain OMEGAHORN to look different, especially when they were talking about like the monsters and everything. I thought this guy was gonna look kind of monstery himself, not like another monster or anything, but like have like, kind of look like almost like a human form of one of the monsters, like give him like horns or scales or something like that, but no, he's essentially a metal hero. So I'm conflicted about how I feel about Captain OMEGAHORN's look overall. I do really like the look. I think it's unique. I like his vest. I'm sure they're gonna sell that on Premium Bandai. Same with his cap. Yeah, his whole look is cool. I like the kind of robotic arm and leg that he's got. They're following, of course, the red motif that they got on for Project Red. Overall, he's cool, but I don't understand what Project Red is supposed to be, because now I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking Project Red is just Metal Heroes with a new name. Even though Toei made it seem like Project Red was gonna be like this super experimental thing. Don't get me wrong, this OMEGAHORN stuff, like this all seems very experimental. But when it comes to like the main hero and how he looks, I was expecting something completely different and not just another metal hero. Does that make sense? Because at that point, why are we even doing this Project Red stuff? Why didn't we just essentially revive Metal Heroes? I mean, we essentially did revive Metal Heroes, let's be real. But it's like, Toei also said themselves, like, this isn't Metal Heroes. Like, this is something completely different. So, I don't know. I'm still very confused about this franchise. And I almost feel like they could have started with this show as Project Red. Like, forget Gavan Infinity. Like, I understand that they wanted to start with an IP like Gavan that's recognizable to get people interested. But if their main demographic is kids, do kids care about Gavan? Like, let's be real. Do kids care about Gavan? Do they even know about Gavan? In my experience living in Japan, I have never heard of a single kid talk about Gavan Infinity. I've heard plenty of kids talk about Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, those big two, Ultraman even, Never once have heard Metal Heroes come up in a conversation, even like with adults, even with adults. Metal Heroes was gone for like 40 years. Like, let's be real, come on. Okay, not 40 years. There were like, Squad, Space Squad, whatever stuff. But you get what I mean? Like, Metal Heroes it's been a while since it's been in the spotlight when it comes to like tokusatsu and television, things like that. Like, let's be real. So I think they could have started with this show, because this, like, that poster, that's crazy. Like that first poster that they released with freaking Enkaku and OMEGAHORN in the bottom, that's sick. That is super dope. And I believe the producers at Toei mentioned that their biggest it was one in an interview or something like that, their biggest competition was anime. And I can definitely see them kind of almost leaning into the anime-esque world and bringing it into tokusatsu. If you see those monsters are so anime, dude. Like, I could definitely see those in an anime. I could see those in Monster Hunter, honestly, like in a game or something like that, And then just how the protagonists and even the antagonists, how they're all dressed, like, that's so, like, this is so freaking anime. They're trying to appeal to the kids who love anime, and we'll see how this show goes. We'll see how kids react to this. I'm very curious. Let me know in the comments what you think. We will have another video talking about the toys when those are released, or announced at least, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our social media below. We also have Discord, so make sure to look at toys, collectibles, all that good stuff. And we will see you all next time.